Hello everyone and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we're taking a look at Ultra Class Slipstream from Transformers Cyberverse. So it comes in this standard open packaging here that we've seen for the Ultras. Also see this packaging, pretty much exact same packaging for the Nitro series for Bumblebee. So similar in fact that usually when I go to a store they're kind of just intermixed in the same spot because stores can't really tell them apart. But this is Cyberverse. You can see it boasts a sonic swirl. So that's some kind of play feature that she has. We'll check that out in a minute. Taking a look on this side, you can see it says Ultra Class. Over here, just kind of a cool picture of Slipstream. Nothing on the bottom. Taking a look on the back, robot mode, vehicle mode. Also shows off the new Ultra Class Prime, as well as Ultra Class Shockwave, which has been out for a little bit. So she is the Strategic Seeker. There you go. Alright, let's go ahead. Let's get her out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. Here's Slipstream out of the packaging. And I have to say, I think she looks pretty good. Primarily purple, and then you have kind of two different shades of blue. For the paint applications here, you have kind of a light blue, sky blue color. But then in the feet, it's kind of more of like a turquoise. There's a little bit of green to the blue in the legs. But still looks really cool. Love the color scheme. All the colors together look really good. Really nice paint in the face there. You have the silver paint for the face, red eyes, purple lipstick. The blue here for the window and the Decepticon symbol there, all painted very nicely. And then all the kind of shin paint here on the legs. All looks really good. Have some silver there in the hands. And then again on the back, you can see all the light blue that they painted. So I have to say, I really think the paint applications look nice. I think they did a great job there. She stands pretty well. She does kind of hunch back a little bit, but it has to do with the way her chest kind of connects to the crotch. We'll get there in a second, but overall, I think it's a cool figure. Articulation-wise, head doesn't move, but the shoulders can move like this, as well as out to the side. You can see that the arm cannons are kind of molded into the arm, so they cannot move at all. You do have, well, I would say almost 180 in the elbow there. Hands do not move at all. Here in the hip, you can kick out to the front, and you can see here, when you move the legs back, it kind of unhooks the crotch from the chest, which really happens quite a bit. Honestly, anytime you try to move the legs, that's going to happen, but if you kind of keep your thumb there, you can keep them in place. But you can see legs move out to the side. Obviously, can't really go any farther back because of the kibble on the back, but nice range of motion, especially out to the front and off to the side. Legs are one solid piece, though. You can move the ankles really just for the transformation, but they kind of snap into place. So decent amount of articulation for an ultra-sized figure. I think is actually pretty good, and I think she actually looks pretty good. It's just anytime you try to move the legs, it really just ends up unhooking the crotch from the chest, from the abdomen, and it's kind of a bummer. But it's it's something you can easily deal with. Also, sometimes the chest comes unpegged, and again, that's part of the transformation. We'll get there in a moment, but as long as you can keep her pegged together, she's pretty good. So let's go ahead and let's get into the transformation. So first thing you're actually going to do is you're going to pull away the torso. You can see that there are two big pegs right there, and they peg in on the sides right here and here. Let me get a little bit closer so you can see that. You can see the little spots right here and here is where these peg in. So you're just going to kind of unpeg that and pull it away. And then you're going to put the head kind of there, and then you're going to spin this whole section 180 degrees. You're going to come down to the legs and peg them together. You can see that there's little clips to go ahead. I kind of like to slide one into the other. I feel like that works a little better. Unhook the feet, and then also you can pop up these tail fins. So then you're going to, this piece is going to go all the way up. Actually, no, I'm sorry, I did that wrong. This piece is going to go all the way back. And actually, there is, you can see two little peg holes on her chest here. And they're going to peg into these pegs right here and here. So when this comes all the way back, that's going to peg in. And then you're going to unhook it in that hinge that was always coming apart earlier. And that's going to flip this all the way around. And then this is going to slide up in here. You can kind of hear it snap into place. At this point, you're going to pick up the fuselage of the jet, and that's going to come all the way around like this and peg in, and then you can flip up the landing gear if you want, and then you're going to kind of just straighten out the arms, and there is little spots. It's a little difficult to see, but you can see that there's little tab spots in here under the wing, and that is where these arms are going to just kind of peg in just like that. And there you go. There is the vehicle mode. I think it actually looks pretty good. For whatever reason, the seekers on this show, the whole like back part of this plane is like usually very long and flat. I know with the Starscream Warrior class figure, he just really looked off as far as how flat he was in this area, and like the tail fins just didn't stick up high enough. But I think this one's actually all right. You have this nice bit of paint here, and then you have the tail fins, which should be a little bit higher, but it's really not that big a deal. And overall, I just like the design of this jet, and I think the color scheme is pretty cool. So to activate the Sonic Swirl, what you're going to do is you're going to take the two guns and just kind of push them towards the body. So you can see this whole piece in the wing here lifts up and almost makes like a helicopter out the back. It's kind of a goofy feature, but it's kind of neat. Basically how it works is you don't actually need to push both of them, because you can see that the inside of the arm here, and I'll zoom in, whoop, this little tab here is pegging, or I should say hitting a little button right here on the inside, and it's really hard to see, but it's pushing into that, and that's what really is releasing the gimmick. Let me get this pegged back in. There we go. So yeah, it has this crazy spinning helicopter gimmick, and then basically what you do is you just lift this back and make sure that these fit in, and it just clicks back into place, and then if you press it again, you can see that it spins. And you can kind of spin it on your own. So it's definitely a goofy little gimmick, but it's kind of fun. I just hope that over time the spring doesn't go, because you can't activate it in robot mode, obviously, because obviously a lot of things are covering it up. So if eventually it stops clicking into place and it's always hanging out, it's going to look weird. But for now, it's a very cool little jet mode, and I think it's a pretty cool little gimmick. Overall, I think Slipstream is pretty fun. I like the robot mode. I like the vehicle mode. Absolutely love the color scheme. Paint applications, all very sharp, look very good. And I definitely think it has a decent amount of articulation for what we've seen with this line. Now, I know that's kind of not really saying something, because the low expectations set by the fact that most of these gimmick figures don't have great articulation, that when you get one with half-decent articulation, you're kind of praising it. But I think it's a fun toy. I definitely think kids will find it fun because of the little gimmick, the play feature. And I think it's got most of the articulation that you'd want anyway. The only thing, obviously, knees would be nice, but I feel like they're not needed. My real biggest complaint with the figure is just kind of keeping the abdomen, crotch area, and shoulder, chest area connected in robot mode when you're trying to move the legs. A lot of times they come unhooked. It's obviously very easy to pop them back into place, but I just wish they connected and snapped together a little bit more secure than they do. But overall, I think it's a fun toy, and I definitely recommend it, especially as far as all the ones in the ultra size class go for this line. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, thanks so much for watching.